What's going on YouTube? Big Jake here. So today we're gonna do a video I kind of did before, but back then like my editing skills were horrible. I mean like offensively bad. So we're gonna redo it. In the video today, we're gonna talk about the 3 things you should consider before buying your first motorcycle. There's a lot of people that might say that this list is totally wrong, blah, 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 go make your own video. I kind of did these videos before, but they were kind of like crappy and broken up over the course of like 3 or 4 videos and probably really hard to watch if we're honest. Let's do this. Let's do a really cool like YouTube thing. Let's teleport onto my bike. Ready? Ready.
I am too out of shape to push start a motorcycle. Oh my God. Heart's coming out of my chest. Gonna die. Flowers at my funeral. Lilies. I like lilies. Don't play any Green Day. Everyone plays Green Day. No Time of Your Life. Oh my God. Still out of breath. Oh, put a battery tender on your bike. Oh, battery tenders. Oh, battery tenders. Oh my God. Okay. Top 3 things to consider when buying your first motorcycle. Okay, number 1, how much riding experience you do have. And I know this is like, normally you'd talk about how much money you have and like insurance costs, but all that's kind of irrelevant if you shouldn't be riding the bike that you're thinking about buying in the first place. How much actual motorcycle riding experience do you have? Well, let me put it to you like this. I rode 4-wheelers and dirt bikes as a kid, doesn't really count. There's no set in stone line where experience or whatever does or does not apply. Like, I have a friend who raced motocross and he's amazing on a street bike. Amazing, but he raced motocross competitively for years. Like as a kid, he was like little Travis Pastrana, dirt bike racer, okay? That's a little different than going out to Pappy's farm and riding your 50cc pit bike around. It's different. So, number 1, how much experience on a motorcycle do you actually have? And I know this is the part where all the bros come in and tell me, well, dude, I bought a Hayabusa with nitrous and 5 turbochargers on it for my first bike, and I'm fine. Well, no, you're not fine as a human being, but okay, you lived. Like, that's what you're trying to say. I lived. And that's fine. Lots of people did it. I did it. I bought a 929 as my first bike. Terrible idea. I almost died like 3 times. Horrible. Don't ever do that. You can buy the fast bikes as a first bike and get away with it even with no experience. But here's my point. This is all I'm going to say about it. The faster bike you buy, the less chance you have of not having a really bad accident. Okay, so like your chances with a small bike are probably still decent, and every cc you go up, there's like $1,000 to $2,000 more in hospital bills that you might have to deal with. And that's not an exact ratio, but it's pretty close. So for every cc you go up over, like, let's say a 250, that's about $1,000, $2,000 in potential hospital bills. So yeah, can you buy a big bike on as your first and live? Yeah, maybe. But you want, like, we're not talking about survival. We're talking about like joy and like being able to ride it and like really get the most out of your bike and experience it for everything that it has to offer. And just barely being able to survive is probably not where you want to start. So, experience, number 1. Be really honest with yourself. Have you actually ridden motorcycles before? Dirt bikes. 4-wheelers, I don't really know that I count those, but dirt bikes or motorcycles, have you ridden them before? How much of that have you done? And how comfortable are you doing it? All good questions. Second, most important thing to consider when buying your first motorcycle. Insurance costs. Because even if you can afford a really nice bike, if you don't have experience on a motorcycle and or are young, insuring that pretty little bike of yours could double or triple your monthly expenses on that bike. Let me give you an example. I'm 27 years old. I have a perfect record. Perfect. No accidents, no tickets, no nothing. Perfect. Spotless. For me to insure a ZX-10R or even let's do this. My bike, my 954. For me to fully insure my 954 is $124 a month through Geico, and I have 3 cars with Geico, including my bike. So that's multi-policy discount. I'm married, over 25, perfect record, all that stuff. $126 a month, I think is what it is. So $126 a month for my CBR 954 for full coverage through Geico with a perfect record. What else? I'm married, I'm over 25, I don't live in a dangerous area. A lot of things. There's a lot of things that are good about my insurance quotes. So that's the second thing. Because even before your budget, you have to really consider insurance, and people are like, well, no, your budget matters more than insurance. Well, yeah and yeah, no. If, let's say you're going to have a loan on a bike and you can afford a $300 payment, okay, cool. Well, if you're 16 years old, 17 years old, and you can afford a $300 bike payment, which, hey, good for you, but you take out a $300 a month payment on a Hayabusa, and then you go to get full coverage, and they're like, oh, well, that's $550 a month or whatever, if they would even insure you on that, and you can't afford your bike all of a sudden. So yeah, insurance to a point matters more than what you think your budget is. But the third thing to really consider, to really be honest with yourself about, is what kind of riding you're actually gonna do. Like, take me. I have a 40-50 mile commute every day. I have to go on the interstates a lot. There's not a lot of back roads that I can take to where I work. So no, I don't really take my bike to work that much. And if I had thought about that before I bought this bike, I might have ended up with like a naked bike or something more upright. That way I could ride it to work more often. But riding a sport bike on the interstate is like not the most fun thing you've ever done. And so the final thing you really need to consider, among other things, obviously, when buying a motorcycle, but out of the 3 that are in this video, really be honest with yourself about what type of riding you're gonna do. Like, if you're not wanting to like learn how to drag knees and like take back roads and do all that other stuff, yeah, sport bikes look cool, but you probably don't need one. And vice versa, if that's all you're gonna do, if your motorcycle is the weekend warrior, you're gonna ride it for 3 hours a day, you're gonna ride it for 3 hours on Saturday, 3 hours on Sunday, and then put it away for the week, yeah, you probably could look into a sport bike, assuming that you have the budget and skill to go along with the sport bike, because you're going to want, for those 3 hours, most likely, you're going to want the most you can get out of a motorcycle. You're going to want the best handling, the best brakes, the best acceleration, because for you, it's an adrenaline experience. And I can't tell you how many people I've known over the years that bought whatever. They bought a Harley, they bought a Supermoto, they bought a sport bike, they bought whatever, and they just straight up didn't consider what type of riding they were going to be doing. And then 6 months later, they sell it and they get something else. So, like, just actually picture in your head your daily life and like what type of riding you're going to do, and then make a decision, at least partially based on that. Whoops, accidental rev. So that's it. That's the fancy video. 3 things to consider when buying a motorcycle: how much riding experience you have, what your actual budget is regarding insurance, and then what type of riding you're actually going to do. With those 3 things, I feel like any person can get a start on buying their favorite motorcycle. I'm trying to be like 650 Ebe. He's like one of the greatest YouTubers ever. He has balls of steel, but he never says like bike. Like, he doesn't really use slang. He speaks very well, and he always says motorcycle. So with these 3 tips, you can find your perfect motorcycle, your perfect a 2-wheeled machine. Go and buy a 2-wheeled machine. Go and buy your perfect motorcycle and love her forever, for a long time. Go love her. I love you all. This has been the Big Jake channel. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button down below. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can do that too. I am Big Fast Jake on Instagram. I post about bikes, cars, and my stupid cats. We'll see you there. I love you all. Bye-bye. Bye.